What was that, Cincinnati? Really? Really, Cincinnati? Really, Cincinnati? Really? Come on, man. And I don't want to hear no excuses from no Georgia fans about how they had several players who opted out and didn't play because Cincinnati was missing two All Americans and literally, I believe it was either two or four all AAC conference players. So I don't want to hear anything about what Georgia lost. At the end of the day, Georgia still have 4-star and 5-star players on the field. Meanwhile, Cincinnati was probably having 2-star, 3-star guys with some of their best players opting out. They had two All Americans who didn't play and like two or three All Conference players who didn't play. But at the end of the day, Cincinnati, what was that freaking clock management? Why would you call a rollout play on 3rd and 2 when you know your offensive line freaking stinks? On top of that, you throw an incompletion and you stop the clock. Desmond Ritter needs to have better awareness of the situation. If nobody's open, you fall down and take the sack. Who? What? What is up with this clock management? That is the worst clock management I ever saw in my life. My life, Georgia had no timeouts. They had no timeouts, and they still allowed Georgia to get the ball back. That is the worst clock management I've ever seen in my life. Clock management is not that hard. It's not that hard. If you play Madden, that is the only thing that you can learn in terms of real life football Madden is how to manage the clock. And Cincinnati doesn't know how to even do that. Why would you call a rollout play on 3rd and 2? Run the ball. Run the ball. Cincinnati would. Bro, come on now, Devin. Now you know doggone well Cincinnati should have won that game, man. Come on now. It was the stupid clock management and the dumb play calling, man. Cincinnati really should have won that game. To be honest, I think even though Georgia won the game, it looks bad on Georgia's part because Georgia should have blown out Cincinnati. Quote, quote, SEC. SEC my butt, man. Jesus, man. Clock management is not that hard. It's not that hard. Who does a rollout play on 3rd and 2? I don't understand it. I don't understand why teams get inside the goal line. When teams get inside the goal line, they want to throw the football instead of trying to run the football. 3rd and 2, instead of trying to run the football, you want to throw the football. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. But if you were to tell me that people expected this game to be competitive, you are a doggone lie. People expected this game to be a blowout just like how they expected UCF to get blown out by Auburn. Jesus Christ, Cincinnati. Jesus freaking Christ. We had a lot of players opt out. Bro, you guys still have 4-star, 5-star players. Cincinnati had two All-Americans and 3 or 4 All-Conference players who didn't play in this game. So I don't want to hear anything about how Georgia had players opt out because at the end of the day, Georgia has 4 and 5-star players who are backups. Cincinnati has 2-star, maybe 3-star players who are backups who are replacing all conference players, all Americans. So I don't. It seems you see. This is what's funny. People only use the excuse for the SEC that players opted out. That's it. But when it comes to another team that has players opted out, nobody wants to use that excuse. But Georgia wins the game. Cincinnati's clock management freaking sucks. I don't know what they were doing in the second half of that game. I don't know why they didn't run no zone reads with Desmond Ritter. It was stupid. I don't like this. I don't like the play calling from Cincinnati in the second half of that game. You can say, well, JT, you say that now, but you ain't the one calling the plays. Who cares? I mean, I know if I was calling the plays, I would, call better plays than what I saw in the second half of that game. It was stupid. It was absolutely stupid. You know your off the line can't protect. So why don't you try to get out to the perimeter? And then the left tackle, the backup left tackle they had, he was getting beat all game by who was it? Number 18 of Georgia. I can't pronounce his name, but he was getting beat all game. Why don't you put in an extra tight end over that side or a halfback and try to chip? Instead, they let the left tackle out to dry the whole entire game. They made no adjustments. No in-game adjustments. Keep a running back in there to chip off. Move a tight end to that side. Give old guy some help because he needed some. He needed some. Jesus, man, clock management is not that hard. It's not that hard. Literally, 3rd and 2, they got no timeouts. You run the football. You run the freaking football. That is the only thing Cincinnati should have done in that situation. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. Cincinnati, you had a chance to change college football with a win today against Georgia. Now we still have to go with this bullcrap 14 college football playoff. It's unfreaking believable. I don't understand why time management is so hard for people to grasp. The only thing that you can learn in Madden that translates to real life football is how to manage the clock. It's 3rd and 2. You know you're off the line being boo-boo all game. So why would you call a bootleg rollout? You really wasted time out to call that? Are you serious? I don't understand what be going through some of these coaches' heads. It's 3rd down and 2. Run the ball. Run the ball. It's for the life of me, I don't understand why teams throw the ball when they get inside the goal line. You're on the 1 yard line. Run the doggone football. Learn from Seattle. That's the problem with these teams nowadays. Everybody's trying to get too cute. What happened to old school football? Put a fullback in. Run the football. If you can't pick up 2 yards, then maybe you don't deserve to be in the college football playoffs like you claim if you can't pick up 2 freaking yards. I mean, if you're trying to self-proclaim yourself as one of the best teams in America, I think that you should be able to pick up at least 2 yards. At least 2 yards. Jesus Christ, Cincinnati. Really let me down today. I don't care. I don't care about if Cincinnati gave Georgia a competitive game. I don't want to hear none of that moral, that little moral victory bull crap about how Cincinnati proved they can compete with the big boys. You lost the game at the end of the day. I don't want to hear none of that bull crap. You lost. You lost. So I don't want to hear nothing about Cincinnati proved they can't compete with the Blue Bloods. Stop trying to find moral victories. At the end of the day, you lost the game because of stupid clock management. Stupid clock management. Now, I don't know who that defensive coordinator is for Cincinnati, but somebody needs to give that dude a coaching gig right now because his defense is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. But at the end of the day, I don't want to hear none of that about how Cincinnati competed. Kudos to them. You still lost the game. You're not getting no round of applause from me or anything like that. You can't make an argument for losing. At the end of the day, the only thing that changes is when you win football games, not losing football games. The college football committee is like, well, they still lost. Like, you're not going to affect anything. You still lost the freaking football game. But here's the thing. Cincinnati has a chance to make it into the college football playoffs next year. Look at their schedule for 2021. They play Indiana and they play Notre Dame next year. Both those two teams should be ranked when Cincinnati plays them. If Cincinnati can beat Notre Dame and Indiana next year and they go undefeated in the AAC, they should be in the college football playoffs next year if that happens. But we'll see. But Cincinnati does have a really good schedule next year that they should be able to make it into the college football playoffs. But at the end of the day, nobody's getting no props from me. Will you please stream Alabama game? I can't stream the Alabama game. That's getting taken down right off the bat. I already got 2 copyright strikes. I can't get one more. If I get one more copyright strike, my channel going down. But yeah, man, Cincinnati, the stupid clock management in the second half is the reason why they lost the game. I don't want to hear nothing about no moral victory. They lost. They freaking lost. You can't change nothing with the L. Can't change nothing with freaking L. I don't want to hear nothing about no moral victory. You lost the game.